Hello, people of the world. My name is sonicsworld. Um, Before I jump down the hole, I have one last thing I want to try. Just a tiny little thing, just a tiny little thing. Oh, that's moved too. Oh my God, you're in this world too? You look weird. Ugh. Le gasp! Could it be? Finally some company. I've been alone for so long, but after what feels like an eternity, at last I have an audience. Who am I, you ask? Why, I am the great up-and-coming artist Rococo. This guy's kinda weird. Let's get out of here. Oh, no, you can't go. No, please. Excuse us. Please listen to me. I'm so lonely. Right. Now where should I start? In the beginning was me, crying in a pod in the middle of space, witnessing my home planet blow up right before my eyes. I can still remember it so vividly. Fire, fire, everywhere, and then darkness. When I awoke, I found myself in the middle of the desert, surrounded by a sea of brown sugar in a strange land I soon learned to be called Orange Oasis. Even as a baby, I knew I was the sole survivor of my species, the last elf in the entire universe. So this is how it ends, I thought. Yet, in a stroke of luck, I was found by none other than a young donut by the name of Sweetheart. She brought me to her family and then took me as one of her own. Sweetheart and I, we grew up together. It was a rough childhood. We fought frequently, but she would always win. If I fought back, well... Anyway, I learned to run, and I got quite good at running, but there's only so far you can run. Yes, it was a hard time, but even though that was suffering, I stood firm. Because even then, I knew everything had a purpose. I was sent to this planet and survived for one reason and one reason only. To repopulate my entire species. There is a conspicuous gap in my memory. There's a conspicuous gap in my memory after this, so I'll fast forward a few years. At some point, Sweetheart and I fell deeply in love, became engaged, and moved to this giant castle together. We were inseparable, her and I, and we loved each other dearly. I would do anything for her, and I mean anything. I was ready to spend the rest of our lives together, to grow old and to raise hundreds of children. Thinking about it now, I wonder if I ever made that clear to her. Anyway, continuing my story, alas, all good times must come to an end. As Sweetheart's fan base grew, she and I grew far apart. She began receiving gifts and letters from suitors from all over the universe asking for a chance to prove their love to her. Being her one true love, I was vehemently against this notion, but she wouldn't have it. Sweetheart is for sharing, she would say. So, one night I was asleep. Sweetheart and her servants tied me up and sealed me inside the walls of her castle. I have been wandering aimlessly through the darkness inside the walls ever since, surviving off old toast and tofu. Fast forward a few more years, and that brings us to now. Yes, you four are the first living beings I have seen since that fateful day. Well, sir, that's a really, shocking story. Oh, Sweetheart, why did you do it? Was I not good enough for you? Well, sorry about everything. We're going to go now. Wait, I'm not finished yet. For the last few years, I had a long time to think. Kinda gave up on my dreams and all that stuff now. It all seems so far away and pointless. So, I decided to drop everything and become an artist instead. They are blank canvases. And since I'm just starting out, I suppose I can give you all a discount. For my first ever masterpiece, I will only charge you 1,000 clams. Well, what do you guys think? 1,000 clams is kind of steep, isn't it? Please commission me! We'll think about it. Yes, of course. Do take your time. That will stand right here until then. simple foot, and the sheeps are cheap, lumpy, and have many holes in them. Buckets of paint. Dude, I have plenty of shells. Go right ahead. La Magnificent. Please return after some more adventuring. After all, greatness takes time. Alright. I won't disappoint you. I got an achievement. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm scared. Alright. Well, the thing I wanted to do before I jump down the hole and probably end up back in the real world again, after, you know, adventuring how I have, was to talk to the creature that was in the basement? Weird basement spot? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, that's right, I don't have the mask on. Well, apparently you want to die, so you get to die. Since Sweetheart is gone from the castle, this castle should be mine now. And if that's not the case, then, you know, we'll go back to fight or jump into the darkness and wake back up into the real world, and you know how that goes. Soon she will leave and not return, I know this. Oh. She has found her new, I will find a new owner. This time return to me, you will, okay. So it was useless to do that. So she needs to find her permanent home, which means we're probably going to end up back in here again. Into the dream world. And we're probably going to see space boyfriend, space pirate man, you know, him and her settle down somewhere probably. And once that happens, then we have to come back here. But remember, there is a demon who wants us to do stuff, so, you know. Oh, you suck. We can leave. Who the heck? I love Sweetheart. So much so that I have acquired tickets to the most prestigious... Although I am unable to obtain an ultra impossible to obtain front row ticket, the salesman has assured me that my ticket will still seat me in a prime location. He will assume the event will start very soon, so I've been waiting here in line for many hours. I wonder if we should tell him. I'm sure that any moment the event will begin, and I will be guided to my seat, and none other than Sweetheart herself. Now, as I am the true Sweetheart fan, I could not even think of coming to an event without my most precious thing. Take a look at my beautiful... What's this? It's... missing? No, my most precious thing. I would not be able to attend my dream without it. You four, since you are undoubtedly lesser Sweetheart fans, I will ask you to make the most precious thing in return to me. You'll know it when you see it. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go jump down a hole now. I'll do your side quest later, lady. Man. I can't tell. Welp, you three. See you back in the real world. And, in the dream world when I go back to sleep. See you guys. Oh, no, they're coming with me. They're probably gonna disappear, though. Okay. The white... Oh, the language of the flowers. Yeah. The flowers. Okay, I can cut that. I'm not scared of these anymore. One by one, they fell asleep on the car ride home. It was a long day at the beach after all, and everyone was exhausted. Was the first to nod off, then the rest. As the sun sets over the freeway, head accidentally drops on the shoulder. The sudden jolt wakes him. But he doesn't dare open his eyes. He pretends to be asleep and steadies his breath. He listens to the sound of the road. He feels the soft sun resting on his skin and the slight tinge of pain of his nose from tomorrow's sunburn. He is happy. Very, very happy. And he makes a vow to himself that no matter what, he will remember this moment forever. Found a book of interest. A puddle of juice sinks into the carpet. Hovering above it is none other than holding an open juice box. He looks around at his friends, who are all wearing the same face of disappointment, lets out a guilty chuckle. In what seems like less than a second, disappears out the front door. Tiny black kitten makes her way through the stain, leaving sloppy wet tracks all over the carpet. Face turns red and yells for her, but it's already long gone. Hands some wet paper towels. It looks like they're the only adults here, but if they don't clean this up soon, the carpet is going to stain they'll have to deal with later. It was a hot summer day, and all could think about was why they couldn't do this tomorrow. The backyard was a mess. Planks of wood were strewn about the area. Paint stains blotched the grass thanks to work. All day, watched and lugged planks of wood back and forth from its dad's pickup truck. He watched hammer his nails over and over, then made note that over an hour has passed since has climbed down her ladder. I will just be their moral support, thought, as he sat sleepily in the shade of its favorite tree. Of course he knew this wouldn't be the case. Soon his friends will be asking for his help, and he won't be able to refuse. The tree house is for everyone, so it's only fair that everyone puts some work into it. He knows this and agrees, but reluctantly. He slides up and wobbles his way to the mess. He knows he should put in his fair share. It just had to be on the hottest day of summer. This year was lucky enough to get assigned to a desk next to the small window. Every day during class would gaze listlessly through the opening, at the shadows of the trees, the clouds creeping overhead. His mind drifted elsewhere, into his own worlds, his own stories, his own adventures. He had a habit of doing this. It was easy for him to get lost. The day was the same as any other day. Stared vacantly out the small window as the clouds passed one by one. Suddenly a hand playfully slaps his back, snapping him out of his reverie. Looks away from the opening, smiles. He motions the class is over and that it's finally time for lunch. It's pizza day today, and they need the bolt to the cafeteria before it's all gone. Stomach growls. Looks at the small window one last time. He would have to continue his adventures another day. It's sunset. A strange statue watches over the hidden lake. Might have meant something significant in the past, but time has made its engravings illegible. Either way, it doesn't matter to the company visiting it today. They're only here to use it as a diving board. The brothers take turns jumping off the statue. Jumps first, then again. The brothers gleefully urge to join them, and after some careful thought, wearily agrees. Shuffles up the statue and looks down at the moving water. You can hear its heartbeat. His ears begin to ring. His legs feel as if they would give out at any moment. He tries to focus on his breathing. He feels something crawling on his shoulder, and his eyes fly up to open to meet with those of a black spider. In an instant, loses all sense and hurls himself into the lake. Water fills his nose. He exerts his limbs, but the water is stronger. He's too weak, too helpless, or that is what he believes. Shuts his eyes, and then waits for the brothers to save him. Everyone is over again today. The special occasion is Saturday morning, from 7 to 11. A group of 6 friends eat a delicious homemade breakfast and watch TV together. This is the most enjoyable part of every week. Looks at the clock, 8 a.m. 2 hours left. He would be able to watch with everyone else until 10, when his tutor arrives. Grimaces. What he thought would be a rewarding hobby has been nothing more than a nuance. Instead of watching the shows with the rest of his friends, he'll be the only one to miss out. If only he could watch the last hour with everyone else. If only he didn't have to play the violin. Something opened. Seven keys left. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next part.